Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Conservative Bird. I am Bird. If you are new here, make sure to hit that subscription, hit that notification, smash that like, and smash that share. Let's get into this one. I just witnessed this from the Black Conservative perspective. We're gonna drop his all his stuff down in the description below. Make sure to go give him a follow. Give this video on his page a like and a watch. Without further ado, let's get into
What
it.
you're arguing here?
And I just want to address you correctly. What's your name?
I mean, you just came on my show. You don't know my name? My name's Anna.
What an arrogant snub. We're not even
I
gonna
don't
say it.
actually.
We won't say
I
the
was
word.
talking to Cenk. What's your name?
My name
Anna,
is Anna.
Anna.
Anna. Good. No, we've been chatting for a while.
I mean, he was very polite and respectful about that. Just asked you your name. You literally could have just said your name. You didn't have to be all arrogant and smug
I
about
just
it.
wanted to address you
Should
conversationally.
have prepared for the
So,
interview
Anna,
ahead of time.
Wow. I would not even want to. I would leave if I was him.
Well, Anna, you guys invited me on your show. I'm making some time for you guys. I'm happy to have the open debate.
Oh, I would have left right there. I'd have been like, peace.
Let's get some facts actually straight here.
I thought you were detail oriented. I don't know. It's just you're the one.
All right,
You are
go ahead.
making.
Wow. What an arrogant, smug. You don't need to talk at. You could have just kept the conversation going. Instead, you just keep going back to it.
I didn't mean that as a personal affront, and I promise you, and I'm looking forward to getting into substance with you. So the reality is, you're making an assertion that he broke the law, and then everything that you're doing is working backwards, making a legal judgment on a complex legal theory that has never been brought against a defendant in American history. So that's a circular reasoning. It's a circular loop.
No.
All right, guys. So we got to talk about this pretty wild interview with Vivek Ramaswamy and TYT, Cenk and Anna Kasparian. Now, Cenk initially said that he would not be able to partake in the interview because he's a presidential candidate.
Wow, the dude wasn't even born in America. You're disqualified, bro. Only Obama was allowed to do that.
Even though he's not constitutionally allowed to be president of the United States.
What?
But he filed a run anyways, even though he can't, based off this fringe legal theory that was presented or argued in some fringe case law by a lunatic. And he's basically saying, look, I'm going to run even though I know that is unconstitutional. I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to scam people out of their
Talk about a typical liberal.
money.
They don't care about the Constitution at all.
Okay, and I'm going to pretend like I'm going to take this to the Supreme Court and I'm going to be allowed to become president of the United States, even though it's clearly unconstitutional. He's not a natural born citizen of the United States, okay?
That Obama thing was a joke, by the way. A joke.
Now,
don't kick me off of YouTube for that.
irony here is that Cenk, who is basically knowingly attempting to break the law because the Constitution is the law of the land, him and Anna Kasparian are going to lose their minds over the fact that Vivek Ramaswamy is saying, look, I would pardon Trump on all the federal charges against him if he's found to be guilty, because I think that Trump is being politically persecuted, that they are...
I mean, he is. He's literally being politically persecuted.
Charging Trump using untested legal theories that we really, again, we've never seen this done before, and it's not good for the country. So if I become president of the United States, I'm going to pardon Trump. Now, again,
right,
this is ironic. And the reason why it is ironic that Cenk is getting so upset about this is because...
What? Yeah, what? I don't understand it. Like, what do they get so mad about? Like, it's so weird to me.
He is literally knowingly attempting to break the law based off a fringe legal theory, but he's upset about Trump unknowingly, allegedly breaking the law when it comes to
Catch-22, baby.
testing a fringe legal theory that was presented to him by his lawyer, John Eastman, in regards to the contingent electors plot, right? Which is the plot to send an alternative slate of electors to Congress contingent on the legal outcomes of Trump's challenges to the election in court, which Democrats and Jack Smith...
Oh, these Democrats have been screaming elections have been stolen from them forever. I don't get it.
If Joe Biden's DOJ is charging Trump with conspiracy, okay, based off this alternative electors plot. Now, here's the thing. They have to prove that Trump knew that this was illegal and that he knew that he didn't win the election. Otherwise, there is precedent to suggest that what he did was not illegal. It may have been a bad judgment, like Vivek Ramaswamy says all the time, but it wasn't necessarily illegal because, one, he didn't know, okay, that it was illegal. And two, he legitimately believed that the election was stolen. And when an election is contested, like, for example, in Hawaii back in the 1960s, Republicans and Democrats sent their slate of electors to Congress because they believed that they won that state, right? So again, Trump's defense is there, okay? I'm just outlining a layman.
Right. I mean, if you feel like it was really stolen from you, then it's different than like if you're just doing it to be a smug, arrogant prick, you know, complete difference. So
Version of Trump's defense, okay? But again, Cenk and Anna are going to lose their minds at Vivek simply saying, well, look, I want to pardon Trump because I believe that this is untested waters and this is a bad precedent to set to politically persecute a former president of the United States, which is clearly what is happening. So without further ado, I want to react to it because it gets pretty hilarious and wild.
The other, that's wrong.
Do you believe it's a good precedent to implement a slate of fake electors to overturn the results of our democratic process and go against the will of the American voters?
So, look, I think that there were serious issues that need to be discussed relating to election integrity. However, I would not have made those same judgments that Donald Trump did. This, though, belongs to the voters. This is a judgment for the voters of this country, not a judgment for a justice system that lands people in prison as its ultimate goal, especially.
Seriously, it's crazy how far we've come in a bad way as this country, as a country.
Political opponents. I just think that's bad for the United States of America.
Okay.
So leave it to the voters. Trust the voters to make the decision of who governs.
Okay.
Instead of trying to take it out of the voters' hands. And I don't think that should be a controversial idea.
Yeah, it's definitely controversial because what you're saying is
leaving it to the voters is controversial.
No, not that. Hold on.
How? They're the people who we should be deciding what's going on, not all these politicians. It's crazy.
The former president broke laws, including going against the will of the American voters by implementing a slate of fake electors, which were noted as such in memos passed around within the Trump campaign. They were referred to as fake and fraudulent electors.
That's a lie.
That's a complete lie. 1,000%.
Right. That's a lie. The mainstream liberal media is referring to them as fake and fraudulent electors.
It's different. It's different when the people that are against you are saying it. It's different.
The Trump campaign, the Trump team referred to them as contingent electors because, again, what they were trying to do was to preserve a remedy to overturn the election contingent based off what happens in the legal proceedings. Remember, Trump was challenging the elections in court. Now, again, regardless of whether or not you agree with it, right? Again, what this really comes down to is, does this man have the right? Does anybody have the right to feel that an election was stolen and to take action to preserve the remedy for fixing an election if it is found to actually had been fraudulent, right? That is what they were trying to do, right? And essentially what Jack Smith and Democrats and Joe Biden and the DOJ are trying to do is essentially say, no, you can't do that, right? You cannot question the outcome of the election.
Right, like that's dictatorship. Like, you should be allowed to question, even if Trump were to win and the Democrats want to question it. You should be allowed to if you want to.
You cannot.
The fact that people are being politically prosecuted, like these January 6ers and like Donald Trump, goes to show how evil and corrupt this system really is.
Challenge it legally. You cannot preserve the remedy or try to have a contingent slate of electors just in case you win your legal battles. No, you can't do that, right? You can't do that. Okay,
right.
This is what they're trying to say. Despite the fact that this has happened before, for example, 1960, Hawaii's election between Nixon and Kennedy, Kennedy ended up winning only after the initial count showed Nixon had won. And then both Democrats and Republicans submitted their own electors because the state was super close, right? Both parties thought they had won. A court ordered a recount and found that Kennedy actually had won, okay? And his electors were accepted, right? So again, elections have been contested throughout all of United States history. This is not unprecedented what Trump did. It has been done before. But again, because it's Trump, that's why they're trying to charge him and throw him in jail for it, even though, again, this stuff has been done before in the past, okay? And that's the point that Vivek is trying to make here, that, you know, these dunces don't understand because their Trump derangement syndrome, okay,
EDS
clouds their judgment, right? They really want to see Trump in jail. And the Trump derangement syndrome is going to get even more out of control here.
By Trump's co-conspirators. That is part of the evidence. Another piece of evidence that I think is compelling, to say the least, is that they had fake electors in the state of New Mexico, which had absolutely no pending litigation in regard to election fraud.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. This is what she's leaving out. Trump did, in fact, challenge or submit a legal challenge in New Mexico before the deadline for the elector vote.
Right.
Also,
this
on
is
top
see,
of
they,
that,
they say things. Look, you know, this dude knows that he doesn't believe what he's saying on the left. Whoever the Cenk dude or whatever, you know, this dude doesn't believe anything
specifically the one
he
in
says.
New Mexico and Pennsylvania stated that they will only take effect if the Trump campaign's challenges to the election were sustained in court. Again, that's a detail that Anna Kasparian leaves out for whatever reason.
System, and if you want to go into the details of this, the First Amendment absolutely protects, and courts have held this for a long time, dating back to a case called Alvarez. I think it was in 2012, that political officials, including candidates for election, unfortunately, like it or not, have the First Amendment right not to tell the truth. That's just a fact. It's not something that
was lying. So Donald Trump was lying.
That's for the courts to decide. But what I'm telling
then he should be tried. If it's for the courts to decide, and we live in
this dude's a weirdo.
Country of laws, and he's being charged with a very important criminal act. Why do you get to decide instead of the court system and say, "Oh, just let him off. Who cares what the evidence is?"
Because nobody else has been charged under the same set of facts.
Right. I mean, I never seen Hillary Clinton get charged. I never seen Maxine Waters getting charged. I never seen anybody getting charged that just said that, hey, this election wasn't legit. It doesn't make sense.
Because no one else tried to do a coup against America with a fake elector scheme. Do you know a second person who's ever been accused of that?
We've had contested elections dating back to the late 1800s in this country, and a lot.
Yeah, but no one ever did fake electors and tried to do a coup, Vivek.
See, again, this is where Cenk, again, look at the election 1960 in Hawaii. Okay, I just explained what went down, but this idea that alternative or contingent electors has never been used before when you're contesting the outcome of the election in the state, it's just false, right? It's false. It's like it's something that they.
There's nothing wrong with that. If you feel like if you feel like an election was stolen from you, you have every right to challenge it.
To play off people's ignorance when again. Elections have been contested throughout all of U.S. history, and these people are pretending that it's some new thing because Trump did it in 2020. It's ridiculous, right? It really is.
So are you saying, because this is really important, because good for the goose is good for the gander. So you're saying Joe Biden, on his way out, can take any national secrets and show them to anyone he likes. Maybe you could even sell them, whatever. He could just take them. Who cares?
Maybe even sell them, right? Maybe even sell them. Again, this guy is a full-blown Alex Jones. I ain't even gonna throw Alex Jones. I ain't gonna do Alex Jones like that. But this.
Yeah, don't do Alex Jones dirt like that. Don't compare him to him. That's not cool.
This guy is a tinfoil hat conspiracy guy, right?
Yeah, but he's a nut job.
He's trying to allege that Trump sold nuclear secrets to other countries. This is what this guy alleges with no evidence whatsoever, right?
Why? Where is the logic behind that? Why would Trump? It doesn't make sense.
This is what he's saying. But again, this is the same tinfoil hat fool.
Dude, look how pissed she looks. She is so annoyed. Her head looks like it's about to pop off.
That believes he can be president of the United States based off a fringe legal theory, right? But again, Trump's not allowed to challenge the election, though, based off fringe legal theory that I think is less fringe than this guy's theory about why he can be president of the United States despite not being a natural born citizen. It's amazing stuff. The hypocrisy here is stunning, right? I think Cenk, by his own arguments, his own standards, he should be thrown in jail, right? He should be charged with conspiracy to defraud the United States simply for attempting to run and to take people's money, knowing damn well that he can't run, right?
And it's funny because that's for real what he's doing. Like, if he really wants to say, I'm running for president, even though he knows he can, don't do no donors. Do it all based on your merit, and that's it alone. Other than that, we know what you're doing, bro. We know what you're doing.
Knowing damn well that he can't be president of the United States.
Right. We know what you're doing.
I'm not sure if it's actually illegal to run, okay, even though he knows he can't actually be president. But again, I'm just saying, by his own logic that he applies to Trump, when it comes to the 2020 election, he should be charged with conspiracy to defraud the U.S. government, right? Because of him trying to run for president, even though he knows that he cannot actually be.
Let's just say this again. Look how irked Anna is. That is crazy.
President.
Hold on.
I'm pretty clear about this.
Okay.
Can't sell them.
Okay, all right. But if Donald
He's
Trump is
pissed.
was selling them, are we allowed to try him then? Or do we just have to let him go no matter what he's charged with?
We're going to be on for most of an hour, so I think it's just important for you to understand something about me. I care about the details. Facts actually matter. I don't care about
the details
random
as well.
jousting.
And you just implemented a law having to do with political speech of a president and extended it to the actions of the president. If the actions of the president are criminal,
See, that's what's wrong. She won't. She needs to let him talk to clarify what he's saying. But she won't.
Excuse me, I'm still speaking. Can you please let me finish my statement? Yeah. Okay? With the actions of
Yes, that was great.
The president happen to be illegal actions, especially in the context of our democratic process. You genuinely believe that that individual should not be held accountable for what he engaged in. You think that any former sitting
What did he engage in?
President of the United States can attempt to steal elections, can attempt to implement fake electors, and go against the will of the American people. Is that what you're arguing here?
And I just want to address you correctly. What's your name?
I mean,
I love that.
Just came on my show. You don't know my name? My name's Anna.
I don't, actually. I thought I was talking to Cenk. What's your name?
My name is Anna.
Anna, good. No, we're going to be chatting for a while. I just wanted to address you conversationally.
Should have prepared for the interview ahead of time.
Mug.
Well, Anna, you guys invited me on your show. I'm making some time for you guys. I'm happy to have the open debate. Let's get some facts actually straight here.
I thought you were detail-oriented. I don't know. It's just you're the one.
You are making. I didn't mean that as a personal affront, Anna. I promise you, and I'm looking forward to getting into substance with you.
Look, here's the thing. Anna may be having some red pill moments when it comes to pushing back against the far
left.
No,
but she's not. She's a
smug
liberal.
20 to 30% of the population that has a severe case of Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah, she's a smug. Right? She's a smug, arrogant liberal.
And no matter.
He's even worse though. See, it's all right for women to be like that. Whatever, you know. I'm used to it. But for men to be like that, it's just weird.
How red pill she may get on pushing back against the far left, she will always have a severe case of Trump derangement syndrome. Her co-host literally has such a severe case that he's pretending like he's running for president. Right? He's trying to defraud.
He's playing president.
United States by running for president, knowing damn well he is not eligible to be president, and she sat there with a straight face and then laughed her ass off while this man was talking about his Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff scheme to try to be president of the United States, which, by the way, I mean, it never would get to the point where he'd be able to challenge it because he'll never get enough votes, right? He'd never get enough votes to actually even get to the point where he could challenge it, okay? But regardless, Anna and Cenk both have a very severe case of Trump derangement syndrome, and that's what
it's bad. It's very bad.
You're saying here.
So the reality is you're making an assertion that he broke the law. And then everything that you're doing is working backwards, making a legal judgment on a complex legal theory that has never been brought against a defendant in American history. So that's a circular reasoning. It's a circular loop.
No,
what I would prefer to
it's
do
not,
is measure
Vivek.
the facts.
That doesn't make any sense what you're saying.
There's never been somebody
Vivek, we're not making
on this legal theory.
But Vivek, you're going in circles. Hold on, let's be clear.
Nope.
So we're not making the assertion. Prosecutors are making that assertion. And you're saying, do not let the prosecutors do their job. Foreclose that. I don't want to discuss this. Hold on, let me finish. So can Joe Biden do a fake elector scheme and just make up electors and declare himself?
Let's be honest. Joe Biden's not smart enough to do that right now. Maybe somebody else can do it for him, but Joe Biden is not,
President, as Donald Trump wanted to do, and you admitted earlier he is lying. Donald Trump was lying. And so
no, that is not what he said at all. What he said was he has the right to, constitutional-wise, to lie if he wants to. We're allowed to lie. That's all he said. He didn't say he was lying. He said we are allowed to lie.
Joe Biden lie and say, I've got fake electors, and
Joe Biden lies all the time.
Call them fake electors, and then you're not allowed to prosecute them.
Contingent electors. Again, these people are out of their minds.
Nut jobs, dude. Seriously, these people are nut jobs. And she doesn't even have nothing to say anymore because she just knows she's just a liberal nut job.
Here's the thing, Cenk. If Joe Biden wants to do that, he can. Will it work? No, right? But again, I'm not going to sit here because I know history and say that, oh, well, this just shouldn't be allowed, because we've had instances where the election has been challenged and it's been overturned, and both parties submitting their electors mattered, right? It actually mattered, okay? Because they both thought that they won. So yeah, Joe Biden should be allowed, but that doesn't mean it's going to work. The fact that it didn't work tells you that, okay, well, the system is working the way that it should work, right? Which again, it's just, it's so
System completely rigged.
funny how these people, again, this guy thinks that it is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs what Trump did, right? And wants him thrown in jail, but it's the same guy knowingly trying to run for president,
and you can't, and you're not allowed. Go to jail. By your concept, by your logic, go to jail.
Is not eligible. Right? It's just amazing. It's like the pot calling the kettle black.
Because you just said, that's it. No one's allowed to prosecute former presidents. Go ahead. So is Joe Biden allowed to do the same exact thing Donald Trump?
Let me just ask you guys a question, because I think I'm getting a sense for your command of the details here. Which case would you like to talk about? There are four pending cases.
Go ahead, fake electors. Is Joe Biden allowed to do the same
one
fake
of you is talking about documents, and one of you is talking
because he
about
broke so many laws. But listen,
no. What it is you guys are trying to scatterbrain him to get his train of thought off of the right path. But it's not happening. This is why you guys won't say, hey, let's talk about one thing, then talk about another.
Fake electors, go ahead.
Which one would you like to discuss?
Fake electors, go ahead.
Yeah. So there is no crime here that can be charged. That's the answer. There's no relevant crime. Now, can voters take this into account when determining who their next president is?
Exactly. There was no crime committed right there. None.
Absolutely. That's exactly how our process works. But our Constitution has a process that has been followed, and it was followed here. And the U.S. president absolutely, even if he's the outgoing president, has an opportunity to share his opinion. Even if those
regardless of whether it's right or wrong, truth or false, he's still allowed to. And that's what's going on in our country. That's like we're going down such a bad path with trying to censor everybody, trying to constantly tell people that they can't say something or can't do something, like when it's nothing even serious. It's just weird. We are really going in a downward spiral.
Opinions are not true, and if that's found in a court of law, I don't have a view on that, but that's what the allegations are.
That's what a court of law is, Vivek, but you're saying we're not allowed to go to a court of law.
Because that's not a punishable offense.
I'm not saying that you're not allowed to. I'm saying that I would pardon him because I think that these do not match the actual law that the Supreme Court has held applying to these set of facts. And I think it's a bad judgment for the U.S. Justice Department to bring this case because it divides the country and it sets an awful precedent that will now be used
Facts.
going forward for years unless we do something about it. Unless it takes a leader who actually unites this country. This is the new precedent in the United States of America. The new precedent is the party in power will look at who the opponent is and throw the legal statute book at them. That's not how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to find a crime and then decide whether or not you want to prosecute it according to the same standards you use for every American. That is not what's happening here. And there is little doubt that if Donald Trump were not running for president, they would not have brought.
Oh, yeah, if he wasn't running for president again, they would have been like, yeah, go somewhere. You're done. You're good, bro. But no, he's running for president. They're scared, and they know what's coming.
These charges. So I think that if you ask me, does this move towards uniting the country or not? I think it does not. I think it moves towards dividing the country.
1,000% dividing it even more. Making these liberals think that they're higher than us so they can do things that we can't do and vice versa. No, don't work like that.
Which is why I have been clear, even though I'm running against Donald Trump, I would pardon him if I'm elected president because that will move this nation forward. And I do not think that we should be guided by vengeance and grievance against one man. I do not think that that helps the United States of America. That's why I'm in this race. And that's why I clearly answer your question. You asked me, why would I pardon? That's why I would pardon.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Very good answer.
And just to be clear, you have absolutely no problem with the Trump campaign implementing fake electors in the state of New Mexico, which had no pending litigation in regard to election fraud. You're okay with that?
Yeah, but he did submit a legal challenge in New Mexico, and those alternative...
Right. This is what she's not understanding. So now let's hear what she has to say.
That they will only take effect if the legal challenges were sustained in courts. Again, I'm not sure why Anna is leaving it out, but it goes back to what Vivek was saying. Their command for the details, right, is it leaves a lot to be desired, right? They don't care about the details. They're just saying things to try to smear Trump, okay, without actually going into the real details of what happened.
There is a difference between when I've made the same judgments.
Yes or no?
I don't think that's illegal. I do not think,
you don't think that's
anything
illegal.
That's been laid out.
Okay, you don't value our democratic process. Great to hear it.
I don't think anything that's laid out has been a...
No, we're not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic.
Violation of the law. That's what I believe.
That's amazing. Okay. All right.
All right. That's it. Yo, everybody, what do you guys think? I think these people are just a bunch of arrogant, smug pricks. And it's sad, but you know, it is what it is. These people get what they ask for. Let me ask you guys, chat. Down in the comments below, make sure to let me know who you want Donald Trump to have as his vice president. I'll let you guys know another time. We'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.